Yes, I know some Colemans, but the only Colemans I know were Josh and Valerie Coleman. Their grandpa was the Coleman guy who made the Coleman camping gear. It's like those are the only Colemans I know, and I met them at a lake. They had a boat. They had a guy named Keith and an RV with 2 dogs. One of them's name was like Bugsy or something. It had bug eyes. It wasn't. Maybe they named it like that. I don't know. I just remember going to the lake one time and meeting them, and there was a guy named Tom there. Yeah, Tom was like this party fiend, but he wasn't like a party fiend. I went inner tubing. I couldn't get the water skis up. My toenail fell off. They poured vodka on my toe. I slipped on a rock. I went cliff diving. And we were with Hosea, my mom's boyfriend at the time. And little Hosea. Little Ho. It's like, I just remember that. And Wes and Linda. They had scuba gear. I just remember that. So, like, you guys want to know my memories? You guys want to know the people that I know? It's like, I know a lot more. But, yeah. Being with my mom at my mom's house, she likes being in control, and she doesn't like me going out and stuff. And I don't like that. My mom doesn't even let me have like a weekend to myself. I'm not allowed to date anywhere near her, and I'm not allowed to have anything near her. I'm not allowed to go out on my own. I'm not allowed to do this, that, and the other thing, but she told me that I could go on this trip. And she told me that I could go out, and she would babysit. But then she was yelling at me in South Carolina, over there in Florence, saying that she didn't approve of it, that she thought I was going to be back at like 3, and that was something we talked about, but we talked over the phone, like we were talking on the phone, and I asked her back when I was near Lumberton and stuff, and she was okay with this. But even my grandma was like, oh, she'll have to get over it, this, that, and the other thing. My grandma was like, my grandma supported me coming out here. Rose did. But I don't understand, like, why my mom was, like, being back and forth and or wish-washy, quote, unquote. It's like, and I don't know why my mom started harassing me when I got in Florence and then just cut me off after that. So, like, now I'm isolated right now, as far as I'm aware, unless someone actually talks to me, which I don't see people talking to me. They only talked to me when I was in Florence. Some of them were nice, and the other ones were not. There was only one person that was nice, and there was like, some of them were nice and some of them weren't, but I was getting harassed, and it's like, I had the most social interaction. I didn't have very much social interaction over here. I had to learn how to be alone for a long time, because it doesn't matter how many times I texted my family, talked to my family, called my family. Sometimes my phone would literally cut me off from being able to even call my family or family members unless it was the right time, quote unquote, the right timing. If it was the right time. I never had to deal with that shit before, ever in my life. I didn't know what was happening, but it really bugged. And it bugged because there was only certain times I was allowed to call my family members. And only certain times my family members would talk to me and tell me that they loved me. They tell me they loved me one day and they talked to me one day, and the next day, nothing. Nothing. They'd be like, I'll call you tomorrow. We're going to go out and do this tomorrow. We're going to do that. Nothing the next day. Nothing for like weeks. Nothing for like months afterwards. And then all of a sudden, they talk to me again and they're like, oh, this, that, and the other thing. No. Amy, Josh, Jessica, all of you people, All you people only treated me good when my husband's girlfriend was in there. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Amy. Thanks a fucking lot, Mom. Thanks a lot, Grandma. At least my grandma talked to me on the daily. I don't know if that's because I was like staying there, but my grandma talked to me. But yeah, she harassed the shit out of me some days, and some days she's just like, oh, you spoil me. Oh. And then she would talk highly of me some days, and then she would just sit there degrading me, and then Mike would sit there and be like, you don't even know what she says about you behind your back, blah, 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 blah. She's like, she'll get off the phone with you and then talk about how much she hates you, and this, that, and the other thing. He would sit there and tell me, you think Grandma loves you? Grandma doesn't love you. And Grandma's just like, ignore him, ignore him, ignore him. It's like, I couldn't do that kind of stuff. And then it's just... You guys should have seen how mean some of the people were to me, and the things they would say to me, and the things that they would do to me. And then everyone at certain times would be like, they like it more if you got angry. They like it more if you got angry. It works in Hannah and Corey's favor if you got angry. Of course I'm going to get angry. But I was calm. Everybody's like, calm down, calm down, calm down 3 years ago. Calm down, calm down, calm down. It took 3 years for me to calm down, to realize that he was screwing me over for fucking how many years? Calm down, calm down, calm down. Relax, calm down, calm down. It's like, no, calm down with what? I was like, I am calm. And I was sitting there right next to Corey, and we were watching something like The Good Doctor or something, and they're like, calm down, calm down, calm down. Or I was watching something like, I think Murder, She Wrote or something. Calm down, calm down, calm down. I was like, why? I am calm. And I had my wristwatch, my Google Pixel wristwatch. And I used to wear that because Corey got us both a Google Pixel wristwatch and stuff. But I used to wear that because it used to track and monitor my heart rate. And I used to wear that even when I was homeless, and they gave that to Hannah and stuff. And I ended up having to stay and veer away from the watches because of Hannah. But I used to wear it because it tracked my heart rate. I used to have a resting heart rate of 70. Whenever I was sitting there and resting, I had a heart rate of 70. And then when my heart rate bumped up to 111 when I went to the doctors, and then after they put me in that psych ward at the Presbyterian, my heart rate went up to 111, and I was telling them that something was wrong, and they're like, your EKGs are fine, you're fine, you'll get used to it, it goes away, you'll get used to it. It didn't go away, it went away, it took a while to go away, but I didn't get used to it. You can't go from a heart rate of 70 to a heart rate of 111 not feeling like you're having a heart attack every second of every waking minute.